I'm Denise Salcedo, and today we're giving you an inside look at the newest editions of Pinocchio Unstrung and Dominion of the Damned. But that's not all. We'll also show you how monsters get trained at Scare School in preparations for Halloween Haunt 2014.
All right, so now give me your numbers in what you think your character's voice might be. There's no wrong answer right now. There's no wrong answer. So
1, 2,
3, 5, 6, 7, 12, 11, 14, 15, 20.
1, 2, 3. Meet each other.
Barham. Last name I'll spell it just in case you need to write it down. B-A-R-H-A-M. I am the costume designer here. I've been here for 20 years. This is my 20th haunt. I'm very excited to say that. I have never missed a night of haunt in all 20 years that I've been here. And I've never missed a night of laundry. Not a real thing to be proud of, but it's something that obviously in wardrobe we do. As you can see, we have tons and tons of costumes here. We have 1,000 monsters out there. We're responsible for getting them in and out of costume and makeup and making it through the night. We have a very limited amount of time to make that happen, so we've come up with an amazing system here. I'll talk about that system because it's something that we used to not have here. When we started out, when I first started 20 years ago, everything was by name. So every monster that came in, they had their name on their costume, which was great, except when we'd have families that had 5 or 6 brothers working here, and you'd have to go, what's your name? Okay, and go find their name, and then you'd come back to what's your name? Go back and find. So we were like, this is slowing down. As we started growing and growing, it was taking too long to get people in and out of costume at the beginning of the day and at the end of the night. So we had to figure out a system to speed that up. So if you look down here, everything has a code. Every costume piece has a label that actually has a number on it. It is their talent number. The code is based on the location of the maze. The talent is where they stand in the maze to scare. So you guys just got done having a tour seeing how they lined up the talent and said, okay, everybody 1 through 40, get in the line. Those numbers represent where they are standing to scare, which then tells me what costume I'm designing. As you kind of walk through, there are 3 kinds of scares that you guys are kind of watching. You have a scare that is a blend-in scare where the talent looks like the wall, therefore the costume needs to match the wall. So we have blend-in, we have pop-out where somebody jumps around the corner so we don't necessarily have to match anything that's going on. All of those numbers represent what kind of costume I have to design. Therefore, representing all the costumes to be able to hand out.
This is my 22nd season this year. I started as right before Halloween when I walked into the middle of this and I had no idea what they were talking about, what this Not Scary Farm was. Right before it opened, with the idea that I would work through the Halloween season and then maybe that they would have work for me in December, maybe in January. I've been here, like I said, since 1983, the entire time. Never gone away. I'm now, like I said, I'm now the supervisor. Tim talked a little bit about the costumes. People always ask, well, how do you come up with the ideas for the prosthetics or the characters? And it all starts with our entertainment department. They will come up with an idea for a story, whether it's Pinocchio from folklore or the Tooth Fairy maze. Have you heard the story where Daniel came up with that? Let's just say he had a dentist experience that wasn't going so well. So that's where he came up with the idea for the whole Tooth Fairy maze. It's full of dental phobia things. So after they've written the maze, they come up with the designs, they come up with the world that the characters are going to live in, they come up with a list of characters, they basically write a storyline. These are the characters you're going to come across, these are the order that you're going to meet them in. They present that to us, we go through and we will build costumes. We work really hard to make sure that one maze is distinguished from another maze. Because if all of our mazes looked alike, what would be the point of having multiple mazes, right? We take a lot of effort going through and with costumes making sure that one maze will be a different palette than another maze. So we're able to see the difference between them. Likewise, we do the same thing with makeup. We will have zombies in one. You all know about our new Camp Snoopy infected event this year, yes? We have 93 monsters out in various degrees of zombie makeup per night. 93 zombies. We need to make sure that those zombies are distinguishable from the other zombies that we have out as the tricksters. In addition to the cream makeups, for years we've used, it's an airbrush paint, it's a latex brush paint. It sticks pretty well to our prosthetics. We are moving from that more towards the alcohol-based paints. The problem with any of the water-based paints is that they go out of here, they're running around. If they sweat half as much as he does right now, they're back in a couple times a night for touch-up. Moving with the alcohol-based paints, we don't have to worry about quite so much touch-up through the night.
Is the longest running Halloween themed event at any theme park in the entire world. All others can trace their roots back to here at Knott's Berry Farm. Despite the various changes that this park has gone through since the first haunt in 1973, shadows of its past still stand today. So as opposed to giving you like a play-by-play on how the event started and how it's grown over the years, I'm going to take you to some historic hotspots here in Ghost Town to help you understand why these seemingly random locations indeed have great relevance to the haunt's history. So for starters, we're standing here on what is technically known as Main Street in Ghost Town, but in about the past 15 or so years, this is referred to as Fog Alley in the monster community. It's shrouded in fog, spooky lighting, monsters lurking in the shadows, and to me, this is where I consider the heart of Ghost Town when it comes to the Halloween genre. During the event's debut, the Knott family created all sorts of entertainment to help establish this Halloween party concept. They had a host, Seymour, the master of macabre, who was a famous television horror host at the time. He was over in the theater. They had live monsters in the log ride mine ride. All of the stores and food services were decorated for Halloween. And they also set up kind of carnival-like sideshows here in the midways of Ghost Town. However, there was another very important form of entertainment in the midways of Ghost Town, and that was the Wild West stunt show personnel who were dressed as monsters to roam the streets of Ghost Town, and they were the very first Ghost Town street monsters.